See the game more clearly with high-definition spectacle lenses from Norville Opticians.
And obviously you're without 3 players this weekend. How much does that just force your hand in terms of selection?
Yeah, it's been a difficult week, not just the suspended players. We've obviously a number of injuries as well. We're still not sure exactly who's going to be fit this weekend, so it's a case of trying to make sure that we get the best team that we can available for this weekend, bearing in mind the importance of the 2 games that are coming up, and potentially the 2 games that are coming up with the playoffs.
And does that mean that you'll look to protect 1 or 2 if you can, if you've actually got the scope to do so?
Across the course of the season, you're always trying to make sure that you're preparing as well as you can for the match coming up, but then also looking ahead to see where priorities lie. And I think we're at the stage now with the league. Every game's important. We've said all along that we will fight right to the end of the league, but we've also got to understand that we're going into potentially 2 playoffs that have a huge impact upon next season. We're at a stage this year where there's not much is going to change in terms of our league position, so we've obviously got one eye on the playoffs that are coming up.
I suppose the same could be said for Bath as well. They're already assured of a home playoffs in the semi-finals, so actually it could be a strange version of the West Country derby.
I think the derby will always have a little bit of an edge. No matter who wears the Gloucester shirt this weekend, will go out 100% committed, 100% committed to producing a big performance and making sure that we continue to build on the hard work that's been going on over the course of the last few months, and particularly the results over the last few weeks. But look, who knows what this weekend will throw up in terms of both teams, but for us it's been a case of just preparing this week for a big match.
And how crucial is it that you keep the momentum that you've built up in the last few weeks, that you keep that going if you possibly can?
In an ideal world, you talk to anybody involved in sport, you win every week. The reality is that doesn't happen. The reality is this week we're going to what is one of the top 2 teams in England. Their form throughout the course of the year has been very consistent. They produced some huge games, been very impressive to watch. So for us it's a challenge. It's making sure that we go down there well prepared for what we're going to face and produce, as I said earlier, as good a performance as we can.
Do you owe them for what happened at Kingsholm before Christmas?
I don't think too many of us can really remember that far back. There's been so much has happened. It's been a whirlwind of a year. As we've talked about, there have been many ups and downs. That was one of the disappointing games at home to lose to Bath. But now we're at a stage of the season where with different competitions, we're now at a point where this is the last game of the Aviva Premiership. For us, there isn't a huge amount to play for in terms of our league position, but as I said, it's an important 3 weeks for the club.
And the pride of a derby match, how does the West Country derby compare to others you've experienced?
I probably haven't experienced a huge number of derbies. Obviously within Ireland there's 4 provincial rivalries, particularly I suppose in the case of Ulster over the last few years, the Munster-Leinster ones, which were right up there. But my first experience of Bath before Christmas, the atmosphere was as you'd expect. It was as everything that people talked about in the build up to the game. And look, it was a game we performed well in parts in, but again we just weren't able to, at key points in the match, turn the pressure that we had into points, and in the end the quality of the Bath team managed to run away with the game. But for us, going into this one, everybody's aware who live from this part of the world. Everybody is aware who's played in this game before what's at stake, and that's why I said there'll be a huge commitment on our part to go down to the wreck and produce the best performance we can.